Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's a chess show on Pod TV. My name is Sasha Star, and our guests today are two professors. Ken Regan, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me on.
Okay, my pleasure. And Daniel Fleetwood, welcome to the show.
Hi, Sasha. Hi, Ken. Happy to be here.
Okay, so we are doing this recording on a Friday noon, and we are following the candidates tournament. And so far, Sindarov completely dominates the field. There is nothing happened like that since probably uh, Michael Tal or Gary Kasparov. I don't know whom else to compare him. He's very young, as we all know, and he's playing uncompromising chess. He's playing for blood. He's not playing for a draw to collect his $5,000. No, 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 no. That's not gonna happen. I want to beat you both with black and white and just whatever. That's what I see. What about you guys?
Yeah, it should have been pointed out that he's been in the best form coming into the tournament after Vaikonze and before that. So,
Absolutely. But that's his best form. He is dominating player. Maybe when he's not in his best form, he's not. And maybe we'll find out it real soon at some point. But right now, in his best form, he is dominating the field. Right now, maybe he'll lose three in a row in second
yeah.
round. Who knows? That's everything is possible.
But his preparation has certainly been great. He probed for and found the weakness in both of our U.S. stalwarts, who are
Yes.
co-favorites on some rosters, and both got crushed. So,
Yeah.
The only person who could draw a game is Rubal. Who could think of, of that variation that he could hold on to Sindara? It's not a simple task. He's playing, and look at today's preparation. When he played against Nakamura, d5, e6, c6. It's just incredible, almost forces and Nakamura to play e4 because he is not playing e4, he is playing e3. His bishop is not coming to g5, and the white has to fight for a draw essentially. So now he has to sacrifice a pawn. And it looks like I was watching Nakamura. He was not so sure about this position. I don't know if he ever had this position in his life. But, maybe I just don't know all the details. What do you think?
I'm not an opening expert, so I'll defer to Dan on this.
Yeah, maybe you know this setup.
I was
Nick, what
actually
about you?
hoping that I was actually hoping that they were going to go into the note boom line of the semi-Slav, and that would have been a thriller. The Marshall is good for a draw, no better than that with best play, but if Black is prepared, Black very quickly gets the better game, and that's what Sindrov does.
Yeah. So
Incredible.
this is what we're referring to. Can you see it on
Yeah.
the board?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Marshall is queen takes d4 here. Yeah. So
Yep.
sacrificing the dark squares.
It's very unbalanced position, and now everyone has to be mindful not to lose the game and be right in the
Right. So Dan, so you said this so it is known that there are ways this can end in a draw.
Yeah, this is a forced draw with best play.
Oh wow. So white shouldn't play it then.
Well, I mean, I don't know if Nakamura was torn between going into one of the drawing lines or if he just looking at the way the time came, Sindrov clearly knew all of the moves. So, I thought maybe Nakamura was just trying to go for more, but
yeah. White doesn't have to play e4 here. White can play knight f3.
yeah, knight f3, and then after like d takes c4, you can go into like one of the note boom lines or one of the other really double-edged Slav variations.
Yeah. Anyway, so e4, and so this is so White has no choice here. White can't play.
No, White's got to play bishop d2. Well, I not got to, but yeah, that's by far the main line.
Yeah. So now black captures the engine saying half pawn advantage to white, but let's see now. So anyway, so let's see. So knight a6, and so what are drawing lines here? I know bishop d2 is the move. Bishop d6, I mean, sorry. Except the computer wants to play bishop a5. So what's known about this?
So I don't know if knight a6 is even the main move there. So maybe that's the trick.
Maybe that's what he prepared. Yeah, I mean, there's taking on g2 right away, which I guess maybe that's what I've seen.
Yeah. So maybe it's knight a6. Anyway, that'll be fun to look at later.
Yeah. So anyway, so Carr played bishop d6. I know I've seen positions
That
with
seems fine.
Yeah, and now the computer wants white to sacrifice a rook. Well, black can't take.
Oh my good lord! No wonder Nakamura was.
This might be the first important trick. Maybe it's better to gain a tempo this way because queen takes h1 is met by bishop f3. So again, this is all preparation. So white it's still been playing instantly, but after bishop f3, and so so Nakamura played the first 10 moves instantly according to the clock.
This is okay.
Yeah. Knight G.
But see, I mean, we're basically going into a forced draw. So.
Okay, so this is still a forced draw line.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's not an easy forced draw, and because I mean, if white doesn't play knight e4 here, it's hard.
Yeah. So anyway, so knight e4, then queen a5 check. Now, the thing actually about this is I see white winning the exchange, and I think it's better for white, but the computer does prove me wrong. So this is the way play would unfold.
Yes.
And black has to unpretzel himself, I think. Well, I mean, e5 is given as okay, sacking a pawn back, but I guess knight f5. So this is the draw line. See, this position here, I would think I had the advantage as white, but I guess black is.
I mean, after castling queenside, I'd rather play white here, but I mean, the computer is all seeing. So.
Yeah, and the computer has a spectacular knight sacrifice on f6 that it plays. And so after e5, the computer plays this move. So.
I mean, that's what makes the Marshall, fun for spectators.
Yeah, and then I guess this somehow is going to resolve into a draw by perpetual check, or just let's see. We just keep on chopping wood here. Rook d8. Oh, that's a dice move. Yeah, this is the perpetual check. Okay, it's worth showing.
It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
So and that is perpetual check on d8 and f6. Okay, but Nakamura did not go for that.
Well, so, I mean, good Lord, who's going to be able to see that at the board?
Right. So h4, and now here's the real.
H4 seems like it should be thematic, but it turns out it's just weak.
He spent more than an hour on h4.
No.
Okay, so that's it's so one of my new results, which I'm supposed to write an abstract of, is the longer you think, the worse you play. It's a conditional 100% exercise.
The longer he thought, the more I thought he was going to play h4.
Yeah. So e4. Okay, black can't take it because things. Oh, sorry, black does take it. I was going to say. Yeah. And so now we have sacrificed 3 pawns, and black just calmly defends and asks white, "What could you do?" Well, white could probably grovel to a drawn bishop's opposite colors ending. Hikaru got one that wasn't drawn. That's probably what white objectively is playing for, but Hikaru is thinking of, dominate the center and then mate. So knight f5. Now, it was remarked by the commentators that Sindarov was finding every first move by the engine. But black's play is natural and forced as well. Right. So queen f4 down, and so here's maybe the critical point in the game. White has to whip that knight off, and just hope that the better bishop in a bishop's colors position is worth 2 pawns, 3 pawns, however many it is. So if white does this, now the computer actually goes into a line, and this is probably the problem. If white just retreats, then the bishop's mighty on granite. So you actually kind of have to go for this attack. And black eventually sacks the queen, and white has queen against 2 rooks and a bishop. When I was looking at this before, may not show. Okay, it's basically here, and so white gives up a rook, and then black has to stick his queen in front.
This is better than the game.
Yeah, it's certainly better than the game. So you have to king h1, trying for mate, but black gets a good square.
And now, now white has to play knight takes d4. But if not here, then soon. Rook takes D4. I'm sorry, rook takes d4. Yeah, but first bishop e5, and then he's got to sack the exchange. And after Nakamura missed that, it was just over.
Yeah, rook takes d4. That's right. So take this here and play for this attack and hope that black's rooks are just out of it. But I don't know, f4 is a...
No, he had to do that instead of rook h1. He had to play bishop e5 and then rook takes d4.
Oh, yeah, okay. Instead of rook d1, rook c.
Yeah.
Oh,
but anyway, that was hard to see. So.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So, okay, yeah, bishop e5 is the better version of it. Anyway, so bishop d5, and it's just getting met. Okay, white want a pawn back, but is allowing trades.
And the worst part about this position for Nakamura is that black's moves have gotten really easy.
Yeah, and this, for instance, is going to make sure you trade off the last pair of rooks, and then it's just going to be a winning bishop's colors position with outside pass pawns, and it's over.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Nakamura was thinking, it's the wrong color pawn for the bishop. Or I'm sorry, wrong bishop for the rook pawn, but
Yeah,
that was 4 against 2 on the king side.
Right.
Yeah, this is just awful.
Yep. So Nakamura resigned. Sensation.
Wow.
Oh, let's see more sensation. So let's see how the other American bit the dust. And this was just a crush.
This was amazing.
Yeah. So this is round 3. Sindarov white against Caruana. Queen's Gambit accepted. They're both in preparation, and
no, I'm sorry. Caruana is just super brave to play the black side of a Queen's Gambit accepted. Queen's Gambit accepted is also a forced draw with best play, but in so many of these open positions, 1 or 2 false moves makes black's position almost unplayable, and that's what happens here.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I noticed that in this tournament, almost everybody on d4 plays d5. No Nimzo defense or Bogolubov or anything. d4, d5 automatic.
Yeah.
c4, e6 automatic.
That's a good observation.
So they prefer stable, well-known structures. So I don't know, maybe the $5,000 for each draw motivates people to play d4, d5.
Oh, it's coming on the 100th anniversary of the Capablanca Aliekin match.
Wow! Yeah.
Heyday of the Queen's Gambit, and Queen's Gambit declined. Or Queen's Gambit declined. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So, anyways, I mean, this is normal.
This is all fine.
Caruana's used a little bit of prep. B4, okay, a little weakening, but knight e4, and now knight a5, knight takes f6. So there, let's see, black can take with the queen here, right? Yeah, that's also okay. I read a commentary on Twitter that this is, a bit aspect of style for black.
But no, please notice that the number for the quality of their moves, white has 97.4 and black 88.1. It's on that level. It's a huge difference.
Yeah, well, that's certainly true. Of course, I think it's based on the moves that are coming. So there are quite a few bad moves by black in what follows. Anyway, so this is enterprising. So I guess Caruana thought, okay, I'll go for it. I've got a position I can play as black. But here is the critical juncture of the game. And, if this is a gap in preparation. So the move knight b3 would be really good for black, if white didn't have the c6 resource. So I guess maybe the normal move here is considered to be knight d4. And then black can just capture the c5 pawn with the knight, and is okay. But now c6 puts the bishop on a square where now knight d4 attacks it.
Right.
And you don't have the option of going back to c5. So anyway, so black I passed over that. Black couldn't capture on a1 because then c takes b7 is just horrible for black on the right side. So now we have an isolated pawn position, but it's very dynamic. Well, rook g8 is not a bad move. G3, and now, however, though, this is where this is the key point of the position. So black has to capture on d4, and white plays bishop e3, and black at least gets to threaten mate for a move. And I do have to say, I don't understand why Caruana rejected this.
I mean, this seems very natural. So I don't know if he had a hallucination or.
Yeah, he must have had some reason for thinking that f5, the move he played, put a clamp on white's position. But so he used, the other thing is he's used a lot of time on these moves, and he used 17 minutes to play f5.
Wow. Well, there's your long move, wrong move again.
Yeah, and now bishop c4, and he thought a long time again. He used more than half of his remaining time. So obviously,
I have to think that he just had a hallucination 3 to 4 moves down the line here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what black should do is do this and accept an ending with a bad pawn structure, get the queens off the board.
Yeah.
But it's obviously not what you were thinking you were going to get when you played f5.
No.
So Caruana kept on with his faux activity, but of course every schoolboy knows that you can't do things like this with an exposed king in the center. And white just plays natural moves. There's nothing going on here. Bishop d5, black's pawn on a6 is hanging in certain lines. So there it goes. It comes off the board.
Well, when white can get away with a move like that, that black has gone wrong.
Yeah. And so white just nails down his assets. Bishop b5 protecting a4, rook d1 over protecting d4, protecting d4. And so it goes about eliminating black's blockers. So the really beautiful thing is the way that white crowbars open the lines to black's king. Black's king looks pretty safe here. It's not going to be safe in 10 more moves. So we'll get rid of that rook. Now we're going to soften up black's pawns. Okay, now we've got d5 and f5 under observation. Okay, black wins a pawn. We take this. Okay, f5 bites the dust. Now black's rook has to retreat. And now the final indignity. Of course, white's winning 3 ways from Wednesday here. But h4, h5, this is just black's only down a pawn, but this is it has a passed pawn, but there's no way to avail it. This is just bait coming. And this is where Caruana, down to less than a minute, gave up.
Oh my God. It's incredible. Don't forget that Sindarov's aggressiveness comes from the fact that his predecessors are coming from the Genghis Khan dynasty. So obviously that's in his blood, and you can see the games.
Yeah.
Like how Neyman says, let's chess speak for itself.
Right.
That's exactly the case.
So are we up for one more? This is kind of the most remarkable preparation of them all, I rate it. Again, as black, finding a way against Pragnananda in between these games, round 4. So Sindarov has got his 2 blacks in a row and won both times. That's dynamism.
That's extraordinary.
Queen's Gambit declined. Oh yeah, was proved to be a draw 100 years ago.
Yeah.
So Bishop E7, a nifty little move to stop Bishop G5 by White that I learned as a kid. Never played, of course. All right, so White plays Bishop F4 instead. So now we play a Tarrasch type response by black. So you have to know your activity. But what's actually amazing about this is that the activity black has in mind includes a piece sacrifice. And here we go. Let's mix it up. Okay, so B4. I mean, surely black's going to retreat the bishop, right? Bishop F8, normal move that everyone would play, and we've got a very dynamic, double-edged game. No, it's not what.
You know how White could save himself? Play first knight takes c5, queen takes c5, and then b4.
Okay, let's go back. Oh yeah, take on c5 first. Yeah. Yes. Wait, you can't. It's pinned. Wait, what do you mean?
Because of the queen. So bishop d3 would help a little bit.
Yeah, bishop d3 first. Yeah. Now.
Yeah, and then take
the option of winning a few pawns. So this is
king h1. Yeah.
This needs to be looked at, I guess. This is fine for White, but it reminds me of a game I recently saw where White sacrificed 2 pawns in the opening against Sindarov, right? Where did I see that game? So anyway, Sindarov, however, came prepared to sacrifice. Really? Actually, he's used a lot of time. So it's not clear where this exactly came from. So White cannot castle, and it's a question, what exactly does Black has 2 pawns and maybe some attacking chances, the 2 bishops. Okay, maybe we're going to get a 3rd pawn here for our troubles. Bishop G5. Now this, very calm move. You're not caring that, so, I mean, this wasn't prepared. It's pretty amazing. You know that White can't do things like this because Black captures all of White's pieces before White gets any of Black. So okay, so White captures, but it's 2 pawns. Now let's see, we start playing. Well, objectively, this is still okay, but I think we have to say this is a position where it's easier to play Black than White. White's uncoordinated. It's hard to play when you don't have coordination. And, you begin to wander. Like, I actually would play king e2 here. Mm-hmm. It's the 3rd best move according to the engine, and maybe the engine saying already I've given up my advantage. But so e4, well, instead, White, however, was induced into an actual mistake here. And I forgot, I read some comment about why it was wrong, what it was missing. But Black just plays e5, roll out the pieces, and now White's in trouble.
That was a really bad move.
Yes, I think maybe White must have.
Yeah, that just had to be an oversight.
But that was just a really bad move.
Yeah,
I would have played king e2 also. I didn't see queen e3, queen c3 being a move.
Yeah. Yep. So anyway, so now Black. So this isn't lost for White yet.
Yeah,
but
it's getting there.
Much harder to defend. So I mean, Black just plays obvious good moves. Now probing, the A3 square might be available in some lines, like rook moves. B4, white had to defend on D2. And here comes A5. Black's play it very easy. White at least gets one strong piece on the board. And this was,
proving that he's human.
Yeah, he's human. And besides, in practical terms, black is pushing white back on various fronts. So humanly, this was good, even if it allows white to scramble a defense according to the computer. And white has a defense based on opening the B3, G8 diagonal and getting some foothold in the center. But Praggnanandhaa mistimed it. And also both players were down under 5 minutes at this point. So knight D2, okay, both black's trying to serve a lot of lead to white's king. And now, so white had to find a different way to time the C3 move. And I'm forgetting which move now. I saw the Twitter commentary was allowing it, or was white supposed to play it here? No, certainly not play it here. Let's see. I mean, I just would be completely SC here. I would probably.
I don't see anything better than like G3. So
yeah, bishop B3 gets punished.
And the thought of playing G3 while your king is under attack just seems ridiculous. So
yeah. Or maybe it's rook B1.
I mean, you're just kind of hoping against hope that black will like allow lines into the king.
Yeah,
same idea, but worse.
Yeah, but this is mistimed, and I forget the right way. So black should take with the bishop actually, and then rook takes C5, and now it's queen B3. So white had to play knight C4 first, and then. So queen B3 check. I mean, you're down to 2 minutes time. You're gasping for activity, but it's
wants the queen.
Apparently Praggnanandhaa missed this move. It's so hard to believe. It's the rook missed it. Yeah, and now it's amazing that it's not just mate in 3 here, but it's just mayhem, chopping stuff, and in this position, Pragg gave up.
Wow.
So yeah.
Massacre.
He's on a roll.
He's on a roll. I want to show one more thing before we go, which I had to, this is the neatest swindle in the game between
I love this.
Katerina Lagno and Tan Zhongyi. I'll fast forward to about here. We have fast forward to right here. It's a dynamic game. White's down a pawn. Does black have good defenses? Does white? Both players are attacking the opponent's king on the same side of the board, but black also has some weaknesses on the queen side.
The plot for this game comes straight out of a professional wrestling script. So
okay, I'll let you take a look.
First one side, and then the other, and then one side, and then woof at the end.
Yeah. So I mean, you had to burn. Black's down to 3 minutes. And I, for one, my brain isn't working today. Why can't I just take a pawn? Knight F4, a warning for the future. Yes, okay. So black is threatening something in this position. So anyway, so white plays knight C5, which guards D3 and guards against that threat. Now white is angling, just try to get rid of black's bishop probably. Queen F3, and white should have taken black's bishop off the board. That would have been good defender right away. Instead, white comes here, dreaming of royal forks, but just allowing black to strengthen the position. Here we go. We got the C6 square. Now black is still ahead, but black goes badly wrong here. So queen H3 is the way to go. And now white starts hacking down the defenders. Okay, we won a piece. So there should be a quiet win for white now. But white decides to punish black. Well, white should it's move 41. You've got new lump sum of time. You should simply play rook. Just verify that rook takes G5 is fine. But instead, white played queen f7. Now this looks like it's killing, but Lagno has a fantastic swindle here. Okay, so now white actually should take on h5 and play with rook, knight, and bishop against the queen. But white captured on d5, and now comes this glorious
Big
swindle,
swindle.
knight f4.
This is
Right.
beautiful.
Unbelievable.
So the point of
And
this,
check.
you might say, okay, wait, what's the
Sure.
point? I blocked the check. Now what are you doing?
Before,
Is that black has g4
right.
and white
That's-
d3,
Isn't that hilarious? Oh
rook,
my
knight, and
gosh.
bishop down, but checkmated.
Oops.
So
Oh
so
my
all
God.
white could do was give up the queen for nothing
Oh
and
my
play
goodness.
this position, but there's no
You're,
fortress.
you're dead lost.
Yeah. So yeah, so great swindle. So
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, originally black was winning, and then white was winning, and in the end, black won. So it
yeah.
was whoever made the last mistake.
Yeah. Well, this is very entertaining tournament. And
Mhm.
I'll tell you that
fun.
I must say I'm mesmerized with this tournament. The classical chess is well and alive and kicking,
Right.
and it's with a good commentaries. It's much more interesting than anything else, including 360 or 960, Fisher, random, and just anything. It's
Well, there are
so.
still 9 rounds to go. So
It's still not right. Have you ever seen a situation where somebody would have 4.5 out of 5? I wouldn't take a clear first.
I don't
Well,
know.
I'm sure we have, but it may have been a while.
It's been
Yeah.
probably.
Well, there will
last
be-
last 500 years. I just don't remember.
There will be comparisons to Caruana in the 2014 Singfield Cup and to Topalov in the now World Championship tournament, not just candidates tournament of 2005 in San Luis, Argentina.
Yeah.
So
No, but these players eventually took the first prize.
yeah,
So that makes Sindarov now overwhelming favorite to win the tournament. But anyway, thank you so much for today's program.
yeah.
And
Shalom.
see you same place, same time next year. Enjoy your long weekend, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye,
Bye.
Dan.